our studio in Newport Beach, California. Welcome to another edition of the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. Sometimes scattered, but always edgy. We're an authentic take on sports talk. Rated R. Chab Dog brings you Eric, the well-read, Frank, the tank, Brian from Sports Rock, and special guests. We're here to talk sports. We're here to rant and vent. We're here to take it up another notch. Now here's your host, Chab Dog. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show. This is the Telefon Show for Sunday, September 27th. And, of course, I'm not Chab Dog. I'm Eric the Well-Read, sitting in for Chab Dog, who is currently in Alabama, visiting his son there, who's a freshman at the U. So we are carrying on. And, of course, this show is brought to you by the law offices of Brandon Chabner, located at 1601 Pacific Coast Highway, Hermosa Beach, California, 90254. The Chabner Law Firm specializes in corporate law, contracts, negotiations, venture capital, and small corporate organizations. Brandon has a lot of experience in those areas and has recently brought in a trust and will team for estate planning. So check him out. So on the line, we have our co-host,
Frank Fleming, joining us from Jersey.
Hey, how you doing, Frank?
All right. You know, Telefon was filmed in Great Falls, Montana.
That now that you mention it, I remember that, but I'd forgotten that fact.
And there's a scene where his school is blown up.
Yes.
My mother went to that school.
And I guess at that point the school was closed down, they weren't using it anymore, or did they just set it back up again for class the next day?
I think they built a new one and they closed it down, but my mother went to the school and she hated that movie.
Really?
Because they blew up the school.
Oh. I can see why. Yeah, they destroyed a part of Great Falls history there.
Yeah, my mother went. It was like a junior high school or something like that. My mother went there.
Yeah, because of course, you live in New Jersey, but you've got relatives in Montana, and you, of course, were born in Great Falls, weren't you?
Yeah, around the time they were making Telefon.
Yes, exactly. That was 1977. You were born in 74, right?
75.
75. Okay, geez, just very close. Yeah,
and I was born in November of 75, so you figure they were probably filming a bulk of that movie in 76 or something like that.
Oh, yeah, if they released it in 77, they were filming it in 76, and they were probably deep into working on it when you were born there on the Edmund Fitzgerald sinking day.
No, a couple of days after the Edmund Fitzgerald sinking.
Okay. So that was a couple of days later. What happened on your birthday, other than you being born, of course? Anything else exciting?
We probably called up the birth of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm. How about other people share?
Monday, and I was born on a Thursday.
Mm-hmm. Any other people you know of share your birthday?
Who shares my birthday?
Yeah, do you remember anybody else who shares it?
Whoopi Goldberg.
Lucky you.
Chris Note.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Marshall.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Gary Marshall, he's cool.
And Gary Marshall noticed he was born November 13th, same day that Felix was asked to remove himself from his residence. That request came from his wife.
Mm-hmm. No kidding. It was that day?
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
It was a world peace, also known as Ron Artest, was born on November 13th.
Oh. Okay.
So was Vinny Testaverde.
Mm-hmm. Vinny and the Jets.
Negro League legend Buck O'Neil, who was born on November 13th.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this is the Talk About Sports Encyclopedia.
Is Montana, who today stopped somebody from kidnapping his grandkid.
Who did now?
Joe Montana. Some woman broke into his house in Malibu. Isn't that where you're at?
Just a little south of Malibu, but I know, I've been to Malibu. It's not far.
Yeah, so some crazy woman got into his house and tried to take the kid.
What,
or one of his grandkids, I should say.
You mean like yesterday?
Yeah, like this morning.
Oh, man. Okay, that's, newsflash. I haven't even heard that yet. Huh. Yeah,
the
there's
story
some...
just got out. Let's see. Here it is. There's a 39-year-old woman got into an unlocked door and she grabbed a baby and tried to flee out the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then he stopped her, grabbed the kid back, and then she ran away.
Okay, so he recovered the fumble. Good move.
Yeah.
Because first fumble is leaving an unlocked door. You never. I mean, I know it's nice to believe, and when I was a kid, we could.
But, but she ran, and she got caught a few blocks later.
Good. Well, that's the good thing about Malibu is the police department is incredibly responsive there. Like, I'll guarantee you, they'll defund the police in L.A., but all the movie stars and they ain't going to defund the police in Malibu. I'll tell you that. That's 100. In fact, they'll take all the money from L.A. and put it in Malibu and cop it up even more.
Did you get that Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley are getting?
Oh my God! Well, that's one of the subjects I wanted to cover today, and that they brought that up the other day, and good on them. And you know what? It reminds me why I'm so proud of those two gentlemen. Doesn't that remind you, Frank, that these guys, they'll tell the truth when in the face, and take a risk doing it?
I love the Charles Barkley line. If you get defunded cops, who you call Ghostbusters?
Yeah. But he was speaking on Breonna Taylor as well. That we just reminding us, that we've been lied to. I mean, tragic as her death is, and believe me, it is. We were lied to. If she was alive right now, Tank, do you know she'd be sitting in jail right now? Because under good, because she was that. It wasn't the wrong house. Her name was on there. Why was her name on there? Because the detectives collected a shit ton of evidence showing that she was conspiring with drug dealers, and she knew what they were doing. And she was aiding and abetting them doing it. She was part of the conspiracy to deal drugs and collect false money. I mean, that is a criminal. That's a felony. That's a criminal offense, everybody. I mean, she wasn't some...
You know whose fault it is she's dead?
Pardon me?
You know whose fault it is?
Oh,
Do you know whose fault it is that she is dead?
Her boyfriend's.
Her boyfriend.
Yes.
Now, you could tell me George Floyd and some of these other people that was wrong. This was not wrong. The cops were in the right here. One cop even got shot in the leg.
Yeah, well, that's when they returned fire.
If her boyfriend didn't fire a gun, she'd still be alive.
Mm-hmm. That is true.
Her boyfriend,
I can understand.
Her boyfriend was shooting at police.
Yeah, but I can understand why the boyfriend fired the gun if he didn't hear. Now, and why did he fire the gun? Why was there time for that? Because they actually knocked first, and that's when he got out of bed and came into the hall, got his gun, and came into the hall. He couldn't, according to his testimony, couldn't quite hear what the policemen were saying. And then that's when the door got battered in. He started firing. Okay, and at that point, you just got woken up. Maybe you were partying a little bit, maybe a little bit drunk and such. Hearing's not so good. I in America, especially in Louisville, I'd probably grab a piece and be ready to shoot whatever comes through that door too if I didn't think it was the cops. But that's, his poor girlfriend there in the hall, not in her bed. She was in the hall, according to his testimony. So we'll take his word for it. And she got shot in the hall, probably standing next to him. And she didn't deserve to die. But it's just a confluence of very bad circumstances is what caused it, and it's tragic, but it's not criminal.
I'm reading more about this Joe Montana thing, and this is crazy. It looks like the woman that got in the house, took the baby away from another woman, likely maybe Joe's daughter or Joe's daughter-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
And then before she got out of the house, Joe and his wife, snatched the kid back.
Wow.
I mean, that's crazy. You just walk into someone's house and, try to take a kid.
She must have known it was Joe Montana's crib, though, no?
Who knows?
I mean, that just can't be random. I mean, you go by, Carl Reiner's house. I mean, there's no babies in there. You got to pick the right house. You got to be scoping the place out.
There could be babies in Montana's house. I guess he's watching the grandkids or his kids over. And
that might be it. There wasn't even a question. It was Montana. She was just scoping it out to see if there were children there at all so she could get in. Obviously a mentally ill person, but more crime. Do you know who... Do you know who Ben Shapiro is?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to play this short clip, speaking of crime in L.A., this short clip of something that just happened, and it sort of fits into everything we're just talking about. So let me roll it here.
Chaos continued across the country. We currently live in Los Angeles, not for long. And one of the reasons that we do not want to live in Los Angeles is because of incidents like this. So yesterday, down in Hollywood, last night, there were protests over Breonna Taylor. About 350 people apparently showed up at these protests. And cars were attempting to get through because these are public streets. There are no permits taken out for these protests. You can see the spray paint on the sidewalks and in the middle of the street and all this. And you can see a huge crowd of people who are gathered in the middle of the street, again, protesting in the middle of a pandemic without any permit or anything else. But, this is all good because we need this moment of racial reckoning, as Joe Biden has suggested. And what you'll see is a person in a white Prius simply trying to get through. This is obviously not somebody who's attempting to harm members of the crowd. This is a person who's probably trying to get home. Okay, this is not somebody who's ramming their car deliberately into protesters or anything like this. You can see they're driving very, very slowly, just trying to get through. They're driving maybe 5 miles an hour, really, really slowly. And then once they get through, then they take off in the car, right? Then they start hitting the gas. They haven't hit anybody. The crowd starts chasing them. And then you will see this helicopter footage. You'll see a truck filled with looters who cut the guy off.
Pretty much boxed in.
They box him in. A Mustang approaches from behind, and he tries to back up. The Mustang blocks him, and they start beating the crap out of this person. Somebody reaches through the driver's side window, apparently grabbing the steering wheel. People start taking flagpoles and bicycles and smashing windows. Somebody takes a skateboard and smashes the front windshield of the car.
It's a Prius.
And then the Prius takes off down the street. Okay, so the Prius didn't injure anybody. These people were trying to harm the driver inside. They were trying to beat the crap out of the car for the great sin of the person trying to get home. So what ends up happening? The police pull the driver over and force the driver to get out of his car with his hands raised. This is why people are going to leave cities.
It's a white
Because
guy.
it turns out that when you refuse to allow the police to enforce the law, you know how you could have enforced the law here? Large gatherings in the middle of a pandemic without a public permit should not be allowed. How is it that you can lock? I'm not kidding you. Tens of millions of people across the country in their homes during a lockdown. But the minute there's a protest in the street of 350 people in LA, you're not allowed to break up the protest, even as they take over public property and threaten people's lives and property. How? And the answer is because you back the movement, because you're kind of okay with what's going on. That is the only reason. Because if you weren't okay with what was going on, you would stop it. The good news is that our Democratic leadership is really talking these things down. I mean, they're really trying to calm the waters here. So Kamala Harris, the vice presidential candidate who's gone about as missing as it is possible for a VP candidate to go, she, along with Biden, are just hiding in the bunker. So Biden, I believe, called another lid today, which means that he has now been absent from the campaign trail 10 of the last 13 days. And the media are like, he's probably prepping for debate. It doesn't take 13 days to prep for debate. And he's not prepping for debate. He's just hiding in the basement, hoping that Donald Trump's innate unpopularity with the American people lets Joe Biden sort of coast into office without having to get off his gurney. In any case, Kamala Harris tweeted out, Black Americans don't need to be reminded that inequity runs deep in our country. It's a painful reality every day. We will only begin to fully heal when our nation addresses the systemic racism in our laws, policies, and institutions. Joe Biden and I have a plan to do just that. No, you don't. And she tweeted out, keep speaking Breonna Taylor's name. Okay, again, there's still no evidence that, number one, Breonna Taylor was shot on purpose. Number two, that Breonna Taylor was shot because she was black. And there's no evidence this had anything to do with racism. It doesn't matter. It's seen as an element of the racist justice system, the racist policing system. The predictable result of all of this is the insanity that we have been seeing in our cities.
And that is, of course,
It was about the third week.
Hey, quiet down. That is Ben Shapiro, very eloquent. Isn't he, for a 35-year-old, isn't he incredibly eloquent, Tank?
He nails it.
He does. Yeah, I'm incredibly impressed by that fellow. I like listening to him on the radio. I'll try and catch his show almost every day, or a few minutes of it anyway. But there you have it. Yeah. So we've been, and part of Telefon, the show today is to help our audience, to inform our audience, and correct them, because we've been lied to, and this is in this whole race war that we find ourselves in now.
I got a better movie for you.
Okay.
The Running Man.
Oh yeah, with Richard Dawson.
That's what we've become. Remember the beginning? There's a food riot, and Arnold Schwarzenegger refuses to shoot people.
Yep. Yeah, they changed the tape.
They wrestle him out of his seat, and then they fire on people. And then he's in prison. And then when they show the video on TV, they make it look like he was the one that fired on people.
Yep.
Completely editing and documenting the video.
That's right. Yeah, and then in the end, they get control of the station, they get control of the satellite, and they're able to broadcast him. They're able to broadcast, him showing it, not him trying to defend the people, not shooting at them. But that, of course, begs the question. To whoever, you can edit anything you want, to say anything you want, and what really was. If you weren't there, who's ever going to know what the truth was anyway?
I mean, it's the truth. The truth. There is no truth anymore. It's just a bunch of fucking liars.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Yeah, and I'll say it's on both sides too. Right now, it's really heavy on the Democrats, but it's on both sides. I see Republicans lie too. I've seen them in the past. I mean, Donald Trump. We know who Donald Trump is. He's a New Yorker. He's a quick guy from Queens. And we've heard him over the years, and he is prone to exaggeration. And some of those exaggerations, if you want to really look into it, some of them are just bald-faced lies. But that's just the way the guy talks, and we've come to accept that. We've come to accept that for decades. And I guess, as a president, any president, there are certain mannerisms that the country impugns from that president and the tone he sets. If it was Obama, it was about having teachable moments where you could sit down with a black guy and a white guy and have a beer and talk about beers. If it's
Barack Obama was, without a doubt, the most passive-aggressive president. There's so many times where he just did this like passive-aggressive like attitude.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the indignation over Trayvon, could have been his son, Trayvon Martin.
But he made a lot of passive-aggressive comments, a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And that's where you got the true Obama.
But on how presidents influence societies, and I gave a permissiveness. Yeah, good point, Tank, because I gave a permissiveness for passive-aggressive behavior in our country. And I was henpecked in different relationships by passive-aggressive women. So that's actually a really good point. And today, with Trump's hyperbole, and stretching the truth and some of the fancy things he says in the fancy way he talks, it seems that the Democrats and everybody else also takes license to do it. I mean, we've heard stuff, Nancy Pelosi, you can think of her what you want, but I've watched her in politics for 20 years. I've never seen her talk the way she's talked until the Trump administration. She didn't have a mouth like that before. I mean, she was, you might find reasons to question her policies or questions the things she says, but she didn't talk off like this. I mean, she got that from the president. That's the president's leadership getting in her brain, man. Same with Schumer. I mean, Schumer, had a little hyperbole here and there, but do you remember Schumer talking like this 8 years ago?
Oh, he's always been an asshole.
But not like this.
He'd run over as many kids as he can if he could.
Like under 8 years of the Obama administration, he was like a lot calmer, man. He didn't have to come out of his hole like this and show his true self. Okay, look at. Did you look at or hear anything from Amy Barrett, the Supreme Court nominee? She gave a little speech yesterday, an acceptance speech when she was nominated. Did you hear any of those moments there from that time?
They're already calling her anything but a child of God.
Oh, I know. And there's total insinuation, false insinuation, by the way, that the Handmaidens group that she was part of was modeled by Margaret Atwood in her book, The Handmaid's Tale, which was later now made into a movie and then now is a mini-series on Hulu or Netflix or something like that. Snapface.
And by the way, she has 2 adopted black kids.
Yes, from Haiti.
Who are pet-swing monkeys. She got these black kids for the VA accessories. NBC News 1, 2, 3. NBC News, it matters most to me.
Yeah, they're calling it patronizing.
Is there a more punchable face on TV than Chris Hayes?
Chris Hayes? Who's Chris Hayes?
He's one of the people on MSNBC.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can't even. I don't. That's why I don't. Oh, Chris Hayes. Yes, of course. I know. I haven't watched. I haven't watched that in years.
When I didn't watch sports, and that's why I grew up so intelligent. NBC. Yes, like this, like this. I'm smarter than you. You're stupid. I'm the smartest person in the room. So you just want to reach through the TV and just literally punch right square in the face.
That's true. It does engender that feeling. All right. Mm-hmm. But he's not the only one on that network that does that. There's others. Say, Tank, do you think, there's all this talk about the president not going to play dirty pool after the election and not accept a defeat if one comes, but nobody asks, will the Democrats accept a defeat?
Here's the question. They did this in 2016.
Uh-huh.
That Trump would not accept the results. Remember?
Oh, I remember. Yeah, and Trump did the same thing. He said, "Hey, like I'll look at it when I look at it. I'm not committing to anything ahead of time," and he was right.
By the way, did Hillary Clinton ever accept the result?
She did. Yes, of course. I remember her concession speech. It was a very soft one.
Yeah, but did you know that she had to be given a tranquilizer?
Oh yeah. She had
you heard that story, right?
I did, yes, and she had a very hard time doing it, and she had to take a tranquilizer, and it came 9 hours past the time when normally, at the time at normal protocol, when an opponent gives their concession speech, she was 5 hours, 8 hours past that, because she was too doped up at the time to do it.
She was screaming at people.
Oh, before the tranquilizers, yes.
That she went nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that doesn't matter.
Well, it does matter. She's not. That's why it's in the past. And Tank, I don't think this is lost on people. I mean, I wasn't born in America. I was born in Canada, but I came to America to make a better life, and I was drawn by its peoples and its diversity and its political thought, most of all. And I see here, I've never met. And I've traveled this country and met a lot of people, and I've yet to meet a stupid person. I've yet to meet the person that's too stupid. They haven't seen through all this. I know if they're out there, if they are here in America, I haven't found them yet, and I've been to a lot of places and talked to a lot of people, so I've got faith. And I'm not saying that the other side is the way to go. That it's perfect, and that they do everything right, and that they don't have faults, because they do. But if we take people on their word, and that's an American trait, and we look at today's Democratic Party, and we take them on their word right now is taking this country into a Marxist direction, and we are not a Marxist country. In fact, we are the opposite of a Marxist country, and we shall never adopt those principles. That's not America. That's not what we were designed for.
We've raised a generation of Marxists.
Yes, unwittingly we have. Well, no, I shouldn't say unwittingly. The Marxists were very clear and had a long time frame there, just like the Chinese, who are Marxist, Chinese communists, that is, not the Chinese people. The Chinese people are actually pretty cool.
That's the one about the Communist Party. They always play the long game.
That's right. And we, a nation of scant 300 years of history, we're prime for them.
And the one thing that finally got Marxism to the point where it could actually be passed is everybody getting a trophy in school.
Mm-hmm.
That changed everything.
Yeah, that wasn't until the 1990s that stuff started happening there, and that was, I gotta admit, that's the Generation X's parents. That's my generation that was making a mistake there for being so permissive. Well, that and actually late boomer parents as well. Yeah, it was actually, I'm gonna pin this on the late boomer parents. They did it. People in their 50s having kids.
In Denver, they put a section inside of their stadium of cardboard cutouts. The entire cast of South Park.
Oh, cool. They got a new episode coming up next week, don't they?
Who knows? That show ran out of gas about 5 years ago.
Oh, it did, but I think I don't know. It's went from having an entire season of show-stopping episodes to only having maybe half of them or a third of them. But when they hit, they still hit good. At least they're not doing what the Simpsons are doing now. Or no, sorry, it was Family Guy. Yeah, now the guy who was voicing Cleveland is retiring after 20 years. Surprise, surprise. So there's going to be a new Cleveland.
No, they got rid of Apu.
Oh, yeah, they got rid of, well, yeah. Hank Azaria, yeah. Yeah, it's, that's political correctness gone awry. But, Tank, I missed the game on Thursday. The Miami Dolphins and Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Jags were actually favored in that game. And I look at the scoreboard and go, holy crap. So, can you give me some insight as to what I missed and why Miami beat them so bad? Because I didn't see a moment of it. I just saw the score, and I thought, I'm going to ask Tank to tell me about this.
The Dolphins actually got the first drive, had a good 6-minute drive to set the tone.
Mm-hmm. So right from the get-go. So they won the opening kickoff. Did they defer?
On the first drive, they just Ryan Fitzpatrick completed 18 of 20 passes. They ran the ball well, and Gardner Minshew wasn't hitting his long passes. He wasn't making those ridiculous 30-yard forward up and pray passes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so right from the Dolphins won the opening kickoff, they took the ball, and they took 6 minutes off the clock and just marched down the field and scored a touchdown on their first possession, right?
Yes.
Okay, and 18 for 20, did you say?
18 for 20. He only had 2 incomplete passes.
Wow. How many yards?
Didn't have that many yards, but it was effective.
Huh. And then time of possession, whose favor was it?
I'm pretty sure the Dolphins had the time of possession in their favor.
Uh-huh. So what do you take away seeing the team play this well into the future? Any potential, or is this just a one-shot deal?
One-shot deal. The Jaguars are terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Dolphins are improving, but they're still not that great.
Yeah, where's Tagliavoa there and all this? He's learning on the bench?
He'll get his chance eventually.
Okay. So they're in no rush to toss him in.
Yeah.
Okay. Here, Tank, I know this is you, but I want to play this clip from October 8th, 2019, when you went to review Five Guys. Do you remember that?
All right.
Okay, well, for the audience, this is Tank at his best for...
All right, Crocs, we're here at Five Guys. They actually have hot dogs. They have bacon dogs. And you know what? When it's bacon, you break the rules. I set the rules. I make the rules. I'm Frank the Tank. This is raw dogging. Take me out for some hot
Raw dogging.
dogs. I'm going to break my rule just a little bit on this one.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
What do you mean?
You'll see. I'll take a bacon dog plain.
Why'd you?
Oh, dude. So this is New York last year, Tank, and nobody's wearing a mask, and you're happy, and you're rolling, and this place is full of people. Is this you? Where are you? In Midtown here?
Yeah, not too far from Midtown.
And
Like
just
33rd Street, something.
and just as you were giving that dialogue, I look in the background, and there's a chicken head going off. You know what a chicken head is?
No.
You don't? You never heard of chicken head? A woman called a chicken head?
Never heard that one before.
It's Redman. Redman taught me, and Redman's from the Brick City there. You know, from Newark. He's from your town. You know, the musician rapper Redman?
No, I'm not familiar with him.
Okay. Anyway, so he defined, or in his skits, he had the chicken head is the sort of tall, skinny black woman with that really it's a distinctive high pitched voice, and she just goes off, and she's wearing the same wrinkled T-shirt that she slept in, and some shorts cracking up her ass, and her hair is all over the place, and she's like and always going off about something.
You ever the bobblehead?
Is there a chicken head bobblehead?
Yes.
No.
Bobblehead.
If you listen carefully, listen to this very carefully.
Your head's like moving back and forth
Yeah,
for no reason whatsoever.
that's exactly it. Listen really carefully to this, what's in the background when you're talking. You'll hear the pitch, the voice.
Yes.
What do you mean?
You'll see. I'll take a
Yeah. It was there in the background. There was a chicken head going off right there. Anyway, I don't mean to stop. Let's get the rest
bacon
of
dog
this in.
plain.
Why'd you decide to go with the bacon dog?
You never go wrong with bacon.
That's
Never
correct.
put ice when you go to a fountain machine. Because ice is for chumps. It waters it down.
Who else is a chump?
Well, Crocs, you're a big chump. You're the biggest chump there is. I invented the hot dog. That's why they're called Franks. It's named after me. I'm the king of the streets. You better watch your girl because if you're not taking care of her, I will.
You're talking smack there, cuz.
All right, here's the hot dog. And once again, look at this. Look what they did. Look at what they did to this beautiful hot dog. You see, when you cut the hot dog like that, you don't respect the hot dog. And if you don't respect the hot dog, you don't respect yourself. And you don't respect society. That is the word. When you cut a hot dog in half, you should be arrested, pulled away from the grill, and allowed never to make hot dogs again.
That music in the background, so calming.
It's a single. The hot dog definitely doesn't deserve the single. The single is by bacon. So when you go to Five Guys, stick with the burgers. Why the hell would they cut a hot dog? See, that's why they failed. That's why it's terrible. They failed. They need to shut this place down and throw these people in Rikers Island immediately. And if it wasn't for bacon, this would have been a strikeout. This was a bacon single, not a hot dog single. Take me out.
Oh, Tank, that was so good. And for everybody who doesn't know, that's and we really should remind people who you are. So that's Frank Fleming. You go to YouTube, Frank Fleming, that's with one M, and you'll find his channel there. He's got a whole series of these called The Raw Doggin' with Tank. And man, you go everywhere, and it's just you're the boss, and it's fun, and you learn a few things. So you're there, and then you also do Tank's vlog almost every day, and that's what time does that typically come out, Tank? Your vlog?
2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes I'll hold off and do it at 6 o'clock in the morning if I'm tired.
And these are all times Eastern, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, of course, you're a contributor to Barstool, and so you're on there.
Yeah.
You have something new on Barstool's page pretty much every day, right?
Oh, yeah, and I do taste tests and everything.
Yeah. Yes, and the taste tests. Well, and cooking. I mean, you do taste test shows, you do cooking shows, you do raw dogging, you do the vlog. I mean, there's a variety of things, and interviews. And then you're doing stuff with Deion Sanders, who's now a new head coach, by the way.
That's going to fail so epically, it's not funny.
I know. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash, isn't it?
Did you hear that he's going to have like all these Hall of Famers as his coaching staff?
He's having what?
That's not going to work.
No.
That's first of all, Jackson State. Of course, Walter Payton went to Jackson State.
Oh,
it's
sweet.
A SWAT school. It's one of those historically black colleges and universities.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not going to get the star players that are going to make them any good.
Mm-hmm.
And with these Hall of Famers, they're going to get bored with it quickly.
Well, not unless it just goes gangbusters and win all their games. They get to go play for a championship or something within 3 years.
The FCS championship?
Yeah.
It's an FCS school. Division I AA.
I know. Well, what if he did that and then uses it as a stepping stone to get to the Atlanta Falcons or something? I mean, you got to start somewhere.
There's a reason why Hall of Famers rarely make good coaches.
Oh, I've never known one yet, but you probably do.
I know in the NFL of one Hall of Famer that became a good coach.
George Halas? Mike Ditka.
He doesn't count. He was a coach.
Okay, Mike Ditka.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. That's about the only one I can think of.
I mean, you'll find a good coach here and there that's Hall of Famer in all sports.
Mm-hmm.
Jacques Lemaire was a pretty good coach in hockey.
Yes.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Larry Bird, even though he didn't coach long, he was a decent coach in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Torre, a Hall of Fame manager, was a borderline Hall of Famer as a player.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, look at it. Joe Torre's stats, if he didn't get in the Hall of Fame as a manager, they might have put him in as a player. If they put in Harold Baines, they would have put him in.
Did not know that. Interesting.
He actually didn't fall that. He was getting like 60% of the vote.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he could get like 75% of the vote.
Mm-hmm.
He won a batting title, was an All-Star several times, 2,000 hits. So Torrey was a decent player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a really good player. Not like one of those people that are like the borderline Hall of Fame, that gray area.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a good career, really good, and of course a Hall of Fame manager.
And like you say, if he wasn't getting in as a manager, how many years do you think it would take for him to get in just as a player?
He would have been put in within the last 2 years of one of those veteran committees would have got him in.
Yeah, okay. So it would have been a late addition, but he would have made it. Okay.
Here it is. Here's his career stats.
Mm-hmm.
2,342 hits. 252 homers is not that great, but 1,185 RBI and a 297 average.
Mm-hmm.
He was an All-Star 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. Won an MVP, won a batting title.
Okay.
You know, he was briefly a player manager.
When and for who?
1977 Mets.
Huh. The Mets too.
He was named manager. He was still an active player when he was named manager at the end of May, and then he retired as an active player 2 weeks later.
Mm-hmm.
He was still an active player when he was still an active player when he was named manager of the Mets.
And of course, this is coming from Tank from SportsEncyclopedia.com, which we haven't mentioned yet. It's another one of your ventures. Is the longest running continuous sports website in the world.
He only had he only had like 3 pinch hit appearances.
Uh-huh.
So it wasn't like he was actively playing.
But that's still enough.
That's what Tom Seaver, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's right around the time they traded Tom Seaver.
Mm-hmm. Dak, I got to play this the trailer here for Telefon, and when we come out of it, I got a couple of questions to ask you about your own phone experiences. But first, here's our namesake for the show.
There are more than 200 million people living in the United States today. 51 of them are Soviet deep cover agents, hypnotically programmed to become instruments of total destruction. They don't know who they are.
Marxist.
But one man knows that all it will take to trigger them is a simple phone call.
Bascom's Auto Repair.
The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep and miles to go before I sleep. Remember, Nicolene, miles to go before you sleep.
MGM presents Telefon, code name for the most explosive motion picture of the year. Starring Charles Bronson as Major Grigory Borzov of the KGB.
In all the world, who is the most secret agent? Anyone who manages to stay secret.
He has a photographic memory.
Nothing in there must be written down, only transferred to your memory.
He will do anything he has to stop Telefon. Also starring Lee Remick.
Who are all those men whose names you've written? And why all the cities and the map?
I'd like to go back to Moscow, remembering you as being alive. Can you help me accomplish that?
She's a secret agent with more than one secret.
The KGB believes in you. Just follow their orders. Kill him when he's killed Alchimsky.
She will do anything she's told to stop Telefon.
If he talks, he could possibly start a nuclear war. We can't gamble that it won't.
Together, they must accomplish what the two most sophisticated intelligence organizations in the world cannot.
That's how Delchinsky's been doing it.
Even simpler, he uses the telephone.
It will take them on a desperate chase across 2 continents, pit them against their own governments, and lead them into incredible danger. The next time your phone rings, how do you know it won't be your turn? You'll never know until you see Charles Bronson, Lee Remick, and Donald Pleasance in Telefon.
United Artists, a
By the way,
Trans-America company.
That explosion you see,
Yeah,
that's my motor school.
I know. I mean, it's made to look like a military building, but that's a school. I know. It's a old brick schoolhouse in Montana. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's where my mother went to school there, and they blew it up, and she's upset about it. She's still upset about it. She said that she refuses to watch that movie because they blew up her school.
Well, other than a fire in one of the silos, that movie being set there is probably the other only memorable thing that ever happened there.
Well, you know the silos, right?
Yeah, the Minuteman missiles. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got Minuteman threes, all on the fields there, plus the launch.
Guarding those silos.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who spent 3 years guarding those silos?
Your father.
My father. That's what his job was.
Mm-hmm.
To guard the silos.
I think probably
he was in the Air Force. That's what his job was.
I think the greatest threat.
He was the base police officer.
Mm-hmm.
Guarding the silos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the greatest threat they faced were grass fires spreading across the plain.
Well, they also had a lot of UFOs over there.
Oh, geez. Yeah, like I never thought of that. And you're right. I've heard of that. Gee, how's your father? What were his strategies to defend against UFOs? Did he ever tell you?
I don't think they had a strategy. They
Yeah, that'd
didn't
be a
have
hell of a
the,
challenge. Imagine being the
Facebook
guy
back
who's
then.
responsible. Your father's responsible for defense, and the UFOs come, and it's like, well, okay, what are you going to do? Well, what's your plan, Mr. Fleming? We got to go.
Close encounter, you. Close encounters, you.
So another one of your products, Tank, from Sports Encyclopedia, we go to your live broadcast that you do on. You're using Hot Mic lately, although you had to switch back to Facebook on Thursday night. But you've been doing Hot Mic broadcast. Tell us about your live broadcast product. This sort of a new entree for you. Are you experimenting with it, or do you think you have a pattern down, a formula down?
I'm still experimenting. I still don't have a formula.
Mm-hmm. Because you're doing these broadcasts, yeah, you did some on Twitter, and you've done some on Facebook, and now you're using a Hot Mic. And what's the nature, back to telephone, what's the nature of these phone calls you get whenever you do a Hot Mic?
They just nonstop harassing phone calls.
And nonstop, and it's only when you do Hot Mic, right? Or other live broadcasts, or is it specifically Hot Mic when they really go crazy?
It gets really bad when I do the live broadcast.
Does it matter what carrier you do the live broadcast on?
It seems to be worse when I do Facebook.
Oh, so Facebook's the worst of all of them. Okay.
Not Facebook, I mean YouTube.
And YouTube? So it's not the platform that's doing it. It's just... It's
you
your
know,
exposure.
you have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service. If you feel you have reached this recording in error, please...
The guy that made his last appearance last week called me a few times, looking for messages, saying that and he used the N-word, let's say, quite regularly.
Yeah.
That he's going to California and kill him.
Mm. Yeah, that's
I don't know what happened after that, but it sounds like it wasn't too fun.
Oh, you mean later on in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah, he that was unfortunate, but there's no room for hatred on this show. We don't mind, good-natured fun and poking and carotting and all that kind of stuff. Roughhousing's okay, but don't take it too personal. You can't take it personally, and you can't have hatred in your heart. And Mark, for the longest time, there was no hatred in his heart, but last Sunday it was unmistakable. And we just don't have room for that on the show or in these kinds of conversations, and we had to eventually cut him off. We had another new guy on the show, and boy, this new guy we had on, he could talk the smack back, and he was he was spanking Mark. And, he was making remarks about his parents, and of course his parents had passed away, so Mark was taking offense to it, but, the guy talking doesn't know that. He's just doing parent jokes, right? But Mark's getting progressively more angry and calling on Chabdog and I, why aren't we defending him? It's like, dude, you got to grow up there. But, you got a thin skin. I mean, it's the...
All he ever does is just never talk. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's do this week's picks. I got 10 minutes left.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Just having a good old time here. Okay. We got. If it's you and I, we got lots of time. We'll get it done. Okay, we got Cincinnati at Philadelphia. Philadelphia 6.5-point favorite.
I think the Bengals might get a cover if that spread's a little high.
Yeah.
But if the Eagles lose this game, they're gonna have like a mob of angry people outside the Eagles practice facility on Monday.
Oh yeah. They'll have to file for a permit. Yeah, they'll need to get a COVID permit for the crowd that's going to show up for that one. I'm going to take the Natty in the backdoor cover here.
But the Bengals might get the cover.
Yeah, I'm taking the Bengals on the cover.
I think half a little too high.
Okay.
Give me another backdoor cover for the Bengals.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Okay, we got Houston at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh -4. So the odds makers aren't giving Houston any respect. I'll still take Pittsburgh.
I'm taking Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's played well so far. Houston hasn't.
Houston's bad.
The Texans defense is a little beat up.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt looks like he's about done. T.J. Watt looks like he's about to become a big star. Is
Up and comer.
About to become a big star.
Mm-hmm.
He's could be Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, Derek Watt is also on the Steelers. So 2 Watts to 1. I'm taking the Steelers.
Nicely played. We have Las Vegas. That's still taking me some time to get used to saying. At the Patriots. Patriots -6. Wow.
You know, I had a feeling that there was no I took the money line last week that the Raiders would win against the Saints.
Mm-hmm.
I knew there was no way they were going to lose at home. Their first game in Las Vegas. No, even if there was no fans in the crowd.
Yeah. Well, I took the Raiders too, so we were right against the crowd.
They're going to have the letdown going coast to coast. I think the Patriots win that one big.
Really?
Yes.
I think Vegas finds lightning in a bottle for a second week, and if they don't win, they keep New England from covering 6. So, okay, so you'll take the Patriots there. We got the next game up. We got Tennessee at Minnesota. And, the Titans are 2.5-point favorites on the road in Minnesota.
I love the Vikings as a road dog.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I thought the odds makers made a mistake here. I'm taking Minnesota.
Yeah, well, that's why I said I love the Vikings as a dog.
Oh, the Vikings. Okay, very good. Yeah, Vikings home dogs. Okay, we're on there. That's obvious. Next up, we got Chicago at Atlanta, and for some reason, Atlanta is Atlanta's a 3.5-point favorite.
From that just utter collapse last week.
Oh, that was yeah. There is no recovery from that tank. They have to break that team up.
And Julio Jones, I believe, is out today, so that's going to make it even harder for the Falcons.
Harder in the schoolyard.
I like the all the way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm taking Chicago here. I don't know why. Atlanta's 3.5-point favorites. This is another error. Next up with the Rams, my local team, but they're playing in Buffalo. They shuffled off to Buffalo. Buffalo is a 2.5-point favorite.
I like how the Bills are playing. I'm going to take the Bills.
Me too. I like the Bills too. Although the Rams did play very impressively, I think they're paper. They go against a team like Buffalo on the road. Buffalo will show them what for. Yeah, then we have another game I really had trouble picking. In fact, I haven't made the pick yet. The Niners, 4.5-point favorites, playing in the Meadowlands against your Giants.
Win that game outright.
The Giants? Okay. I'm with you there. Just because you took them, I'll take them. Because otherwise, I have no idea. You think the Giants will win that outright?
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah, San Fran's got missing a lot of players. The Giants are bad, but they're not missing as many players as San Fran. So next up, we got the Washington at Cleveland. Cleveland, 7-point favorite.
I like the Browns.
Yeah, you think Baker Mayfield's going to have a good day?
Yeah, I think the WTF, they got exposed last week.
Oh yeah.
And they're going to get torched again this week.
Well, I have a scenario in which I think they could win, and my intuition is telling me this might come true. Chase Young is an outstanding player, and I think today, by hook or by crook, he's going to be mentally and physically interrupting Baker Mayfield's timing, and it's going to throw Mayfield off enough that he's going to be off of his game, and then between special teams and defensive plays, the Redskins will find a way to win this.
Take out the second half against the Eagles.
Uh-huh.
The WTFs have not been good. They've been bad for 6 quarters.
Oh, I know. But sometimes the play of one man can change an outcome of a game, and I think this rookie is that kind of person, and he may demonstrate that today. But the odds are against it. I'm just saying.
I think the issues are the WTFs are just bad everywhere else.
Well, the fact that the coach has cancer is telling as to the state of the team. So you'll take Cleveland and you'll take 7 points. Okay.
Yep.
Next up, we have Carolina at the Los Angeles Chargers. Chargers, a 7-point favorite. Wow, that's a lot of lumber.
Well, McCaffrey is injured.
Uh-huh.
Bridgewater does not look good, and the Panthers' defense has been atrocious.
Yeah, but the Chargers, Tyrod Taylor's lung, I believe, is still pierced, so they'll be starting.
And Justin Herbert played well last week, and they almost beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, he did actually. He played really well. That's a lot to ask him to come back. It's a lot to ask a rookie like that to play twice in a row. But
I think the Chargers are going to get the Panthers where it hurts.
It's 7 points, dude.
The Panthers, Christian McCaffrey is their offense.
Okay.
He's their best player.
He's out
for 4 weeks with an ankle sprain. The Panthers' defense is terrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that rookie should be able to fleece them alive. I'm with you there. Okay, we got the Jets at Indianapolis. Indianapolis, a 10.5-point favorite. That's a lot of points for a team that could be a pretender.
So far. Not competitive. I'm taking the Colts all the way.
Wow. I'd like. All right, I'll take the Colts against my better judgment. Tampa Bay -6 at Denver. Tom Brady plays a mile high.
No Drew Lock. No Von Miller.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Buccaneers. We got Detroit at Arizona. Arizona's become the new favorite now, the new darling. They're 5.5-point favorites.
The Cardinals are playing different football. Kyler Murray's looked good.
Yep.
I got to take the Cardinals.
Yeah, 5.5. That seems like a reasonable deal. And then Dallas, yeah, the afternoon game. This is going to be good. Dallas at Seattle. Seattle, 4.5-point favorite.
I'm going to take the Cowboys.
Really?
Because I think this game goes to the field goal either way.
Huh. I got to take Seattle because I believe Seattle. I mean, Dallas is a good team, but they're better than they think. And if anybody can expose it, it'll be the Seahawks.
High-scoring game. I think both teams will score in the 30s.
Yeah, the over/under is 55.5, and so if you think both will go into the 30s, take the over. Then we have on the Sunday night game, we got Green Bay at New Orleans. Wow. New Orleans a 3-point favorite. Wow.
Well.
What's that?
I think you get a good game from Drew Brees.
Yeah. Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers always plays a good game, so oh my goodness.
I'm going to take the Saints. I just think the Brees has a good night.
That makes so much sense, but yeah, well, but they're down.
Well, you think that game's tough. Small's game.
Okay, I'm going to take Green Bay, but tomorrow's game, yeah, wow. Kansas City at Baltimore. Baltimore a 3.5-point favorite.
I'm going to take the Chiefs in the points.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that game's also a field goal either way. Whoever wins will win by a field goal.
Yeah, last-second field goal. I'll since I didn't go with you, take New Orleans tonight. I'll take Kansas City tomorrow, just in case.
All right, I'll see you guys next week.
All right, yeah, we got Chab Dog will be back. We got it in under the wire there. Let me just check here. We had a couple in the minute we have left. Did you catch any of K-State coming back to beat Oklahoma yesterday?
Not really.
Okay. Did you catch any of Texas beating Texas Tech in OT?
Nope.
They got an onside kick and a 2-point conversion to put that into overtime, too.
With Notre Dame not playing yesterday, I watched the Mets season go down in flames. And I ended up watching the college football game I chose to watch was LSU and Mississippi State.
Oh, they lost.
Yes.
And in the brief moments we have left here, why that happened?
Because Louisiana State lost a lot of big players.
Mm-hmm. To recruiting or to COVID?
To the NFL.
Okay. So it's going to be one of those years. It's a rebuilding year for LSU?
It looks that way.
Hmm.
And Mississippi State Mississippi State actually looks like they might be pretty good. They brought in Costello from Stanford as a grad transfer, and Mike Leach looks like he has things wired up and ready to go.
Well, we're gonna rebuild this year with some red beans and rice. Get down the bayou, and you need a Hummer, and I need a Hummer, and we all need a Hummer. Hey, Hojo, tell us where we get one. Still love Ogeron.
We'll see you guys next week.
Well, again, thank you so much, Tank. That's the great Frank Fleming of Sports Encyclopedia at sportsencyclopedia.com. Barstool contributor. Check out his YouTube page as well. He's just fantastic. And we're going to come back. It's the end of the first hour of the Chab Dog Sports Talk Show. We're going to come back with our second hour shortly. Please stick around.
We're told that greatness is exceptional when it should be expected. You choose every day to live your life intentionally, without apology for how bright your light may shine. So go be great. Go be brilliant. Go be you. Go defy life. The Defy Life movement is one that speaks to each of us in its own way. Defy Life gear speaks to us all by reminding us that one size does not fit all. Visit defylifegear.com to get fitted for greatness.
The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
Like Chab Dog said, he was 100% right.
He can take all comers. wonderful music coming from?
Hypnotism, my dear fellow, hypnotism. Hypnotism, my dear fellow, hypnotism.
Hello?
Remember that song I used to sing? That song I taught you?
Repeat after me. I am not a pleasure unit. I am not a pleasure unit.
I am not
You are getting sleepy. Relax. Quite relax. You are getting sleepy. Relax. Quite relax. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Are you listening? No name.
My name is Harry Potter.
Are you listening?
My name is Harry Potter.
No name.
Harry Potter.
This is Palmer.
My name is Harry Potter.
Are you listening?
No name.
My name is Harry Potter.
Are you listening?
My name is Harry Potter.
He's like, hello, and there's a lag, and hello, how are you? I'm fine, you know?
I want to fit the rhythm of the sound and vision to the pattern of his brainwaves.
This is Gina's brain, and the little woos are the brainwaves direct.
I'm asking you to listen to this.
What's all that about?
Energy from his brain. Thoughts, like sound waves, converted into electrical impulses, and finally, into pictures.
I'm asking you to listen to this. It's a letter from Bessie. Now pay attention.
When you receive this letter, do not open the envelope.
I'm ready to read Bessie's letter.
If you open the envelope, do not take out the letter.
I'm all ready to read Bessie's letter.
If you take out the letter, do not read what it says.
I said I was ready to read it 5 minutes ago.
If you read what it says, do not tell anybody.
Look, I'm going to read this letter from Bessie.
If you tell somebody, you are not paying attention to what I am talking about. And that is perfectly all right. It was nice not knowing you.
I'm going to read this letter from Bessie.
That perfectly alright. It was nice not knowing you.
And we're back. Oh, those chop endings, they always get me, especially when they're unpredictable like that. To the second hour of the Chab Dog Sports Talk radio show. This is Eric the Well-Read sitting in for Brandon Chabner, who's currently in Alabama. And I think he's hearing a lot of this while he's there.
Roll Tide. Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Why would anyone want to go to Auburn?
Roll Tide. Roll Tide.
Do they not want to win a championship?
A one-loss Bama team still goes to the playoffs. We could put the 2016 one right here. A two-loss Bama team should go to the playoffs. I don't know what we're going to do for 2017.
Daniel Tosh does look like Lane Kiffin.
Lane may be the best offensive coordinator. What is Lane Kiffin doing?
Run the ball.
Another bubble screen? I hate Lane Kiffin.
If we lose tomorrow, I'm not going to class. If we lose tonight, not going to Innisfree. If we lose this game, I'm not going to church.
Does Auburn even have a defensive coordinator?
Run the ball.
I'd never date a Barner.
I don't like farm animals either. I don't care if we won by 30. It didn't look that good. No. JK is a beast.
He averaged 45 yards a punt.
Why do you know that?
Does a punter ever win a Heisman?
He could be the first. I just hate Tennessee. I'm naming my son Saban. They're low down.
How about Bear?
They dirty. Middle name. They some snitches. Pretty sure we could beat the Cleveland Browns. Roll Tide. Bear Bryant or Nick Saban. I don't care about bowl games.
I'm gonna go with Bear.
If it's not the national championship, I don't care.
Gotta be Saban. It's harder to win today.
Why do they say War Eagle when the mascot's a tiger?
Can you imagine if we played in the East? Do you expect logic? Roll Tide. Over here getting their trees burned down. The heck?
Dang. They just have no luck with that tree.
Saban's going to coach for at least 10 more years. On the ball! He's never going to Texas. Do you hate Tennessee or LSU more? Kentucky has basketball. What does Auburn have?
Swimming.
Roll Tide.
But nobody cares about that.
I'm so mad Dixieland Delight got banned.
I was there, though, in 2014, the Iron Bowl. It was lit. Tennessee will never be back. How do we have so much depth and we don't have one good kicker? Sucks when all these national championships because you got to buy a new championship shirt.
I know.
Have you seen AJ McCarron's Jesus tattoo?
I have like 15 shirts I can't even wear.
Never do that. There's never going to be another time in history that's like this. I just feel bad when the other teams come in town. It's like they're trying, but like we've won so much. Like, I don't know. Our school doesn't compare.
Why don't we run the ball, though? It's 3rd and 1. Why don't we...
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Auburn needs Jesus, man.
They need Brandon Chicken is who they... I'm a grown man.
Yeah, Roll Tide, Roll Tide. I'm certain Jab Dog is hearing plenty of that in Alabama while he's visiting the university, the Big U there, who won last night, beating Missouri. So they got one win under their belt. Let's see where they go from here. Okay, moving forward. We've got, here's something. 11.
The Adventures of Captain Porno. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Move this way. There you go. There you go, baby. Hey, T, get me a Pop-Tart. This movie's great.
So yesterday, of course, the president announced his choice for the Supreme Court to fill the vacant seat left by the passing of Ruth Bader Ginsburg as Amy Barrett. And she's known as a pure constitutionalist, which means she will uphold the law as interpreted as it was intended, as closely intended by the framers themselves, and not act in any way to legislate from the bench, but rather just interpret the laws as they are prescribed by our founders. And we can debate that philosophy, but that is her philosophy. And she is also a Catholic. And she's also, I heard her acceptance speech yesterday and thought, wow, what a wonderful person. It's pretty hard to see anything wrong with her. But already she's being attacked, and already her character is being besmirched by those who assume what she's going to do and presume what she's going to do before she's even done it, which is great, because if they could predict things like that, they must see things that nobody else does. Anyway, the radical left has got a problem with her, But last time I checked, Joe Biden was also a Catholic, or he calls himself a Catholic, and this woman is a real Catholic, and she has both children naturally and adopted from Haiti, and she has a biracial family. And but they'll find ways. The left will find ways to criticize her. But here's a prediction from Well Read that, as we were mentioning in the first hour of the show, I've yet to meet a stupid American. I've yet to meet an American who doesn't see what I see, and when speaking with them, is fully aware of the lies and misrepresentations going on, and fully aware of what's fair and what's not fair. So my prediction is that the more the Democrats dig deeper, the worse the beating they're going to take on Election Day. And Michelle Obama very nobly once said, when they go low, we go high. And those were great words, and words we should all follow, and words the Democrats should be following right now, because this is not a good look for it's not a good look for the party. It's a great party, just as the Republicans are a great party, and it's a horrible party, just like the Republican Party has its horrible as well. But really, this is not a good look to be bashing people, to be digging up things and creating things and spinning things that aren't true about a person's character. That's just not right. And yet they did it to Brett Kavanaugh, and they've already begun to do it to this woman, to throw as much mud up against the wall and see what's going to stick. So I hope they're proud of themselves. And in fact, here's a little Woody and Sugar to cheer us up.
You don't have to do this. I'm a day trader. I could just go home.
You could.
Make it worth your while. Take you to an ATM. There's 14 grand in it. And everybody just walks away.
An ATM?
I know where the satchel is.
If you knew, you would have it with you.
I could find it from the riverbank. I know where it is.
I know something better.
What's that?
I know what it's going to be.
Where's that?
It will be brought to me and placed at my feet.
You don't know to a certainty. 20 minutes, it could be here.
I do know to a certainty. And you know what's going to happen now, Carson. You should admit your situation. There will be more dignity in it.
Dignity.
You go to hell.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let me ask you something. If the rule you followed brought you to this, of what use was the rule?
Do you have any idea how crazy you are?
You mean the nature of this conversation?
I mean the nature of you. You could have the money, Anton.
Yeah, well, he's going to have it anyway. It's never resolved in that movie if the money's ever recovered from that spot down next to the water there on the shores by the crossing of the Rio Grande. Of course, from No Country for Old Men. Or No Country for Old Men? Yes, No Country for Old Men. So, we had Mark on last week, and Mark, who's a dear friend of ours and a dear caller, and a wonderful, deep down a wonderful person. He may not have sounded like that last week, but he is deep down a wonderful person. And usually, with joy and brevity, and his smack is in good tone, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, and I really regret that it happened, but it's things happen in life. He found himself in a situation where he was talking very with hatred in his heart, and that's not a good way to go in life, and sort of we had to ask him. Well, we had to just end his call. And I know that Mark's better than that because I've heard him many times. I mean, this is the first time I've heard him with that much hatred in his heart, and I really hope that can get resolved because it's just a shame. But here's another problem that another caller had, or a talk show host had with a caller. Check this out.
Israel, we wouldn't be losing our farms, which is the backbone of this country.
Yeah, and what if a woman competes with you in the marketplace and takes your job? And what if black men start dating and marrying white women?
Oh.
And what if homosexuals are teaching your children? And what if you're afraid to walk the streets at night? And what if you see yuppies getting rich while you're standing in the unemployment line? And what if your government sends you to Vietnam to fight a war they have no chance of winning? And what if your country is slipping away, lost? I know the argument, friend. It's the grape theory of history. I've heard it before. It says when things ain't good, instead of getting down and doing something about it, instead of changing your life, it's a hell of a lot easier to blame somebody else. And it just don't wash in my book.
Well, that's a very nice speech, Barry, but it seems to me you're making pretty good money on that station. And since you're an outsider to these parts and all, it seems difficult, I guess, to relate to the common folk problems out here.
There is no room for self-pity, sir, in my life or in yours.
Now, you ought to read the Turner Diaries, Barry, by William Pierce. Now, it's all there. See, it says...
Yes, I'm familiar with that novel, a product of the enlightened mind.
Let me finish. I get a beauty on 5 1. What it does is it lays out the plan for the coming revolution. See, the word America, Barry, means heavenly kingdom in the Gothic language.
Yeah.
It's the real New Jerusalem of Scripture, and it shows you how the Jews are imposters who took the name from
For those of you who don't know it, it starts idiotically enough in the year 1991, and it's written as a diary by a young white racist electrical engineer who joins an underground paramilitary organization known as the Order.
That's right.
Oh, am I doing all right? Oh, great. Well, they institute a revolution against Zog, the Zionist-occupied government of America, and along the way they kill all the mongrel races, Jews, blacks, homosexuals, feminists, and other mud people. It's an idiotic book written for people with bubblegum brains who never got out of the 4th grade watching reruns of The Blob.
Easy, Barry. You're part of the problem, you see. You're another Jew, another weed-eating Jew in control of the media of this country, and from there you pass judgment on that which you don't know. And there will come a day for you, Barry, and thousands of others like you who have slept with black women, who have lied to us, when you'll hang from your neck with a placard around it saying, I betrayed my race.
That's some Hollywood phone caller hatred there, but still hatred. And, here, we on the Chab Dog Radio, Sports Talk Radio Show, we ask, we politely request, we suggest our listeners have light in their heart, have a little lightness, white light, shining brightly through all of you. And that we seek to, rather than take the conversation lower, we seek to take it higher. Rather than find words to condemn or criticize somebody, we find words to praise somebody, or at the very least hold our words. And where we see others attacking, we try and help them see that they have a choice, the same way that we have a choice, that we've made a choice to see better and not worse in things. We just want you to be like us.
Become communists, swear openly, smoke marijuana, progress to heroin. We're the only ones to trust. Come on, kids, and be like us. Spit on the flag, kill your parents, drop out of school, hate your government. We're the only ones to trust. Come on, kids, and be like us. Sell your country's secrets. Do not be religious. Hurt animals. Scare old people. We're the only ones to trust. Come on, kids, and be like us. Hi, I'm David M. with No Fun. Paul Leahy's playing a guitar solo right now, but he joins me in reminding you, if you drink, drive. Burn the churches. Eat human flesh. Don't work, collect welfare. Burn books. We're the only ones to trust. Come on, kids, and be like us. Break all laws. Have sex frequently. Despise all authority. dance to rock music. We're the only ones to trust. Come on, kids, and be like us. 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 Come on, kids, be like us. Come on, kids, and be like us. Come on, kids, be like us. Come on, kids, and be like us now. Well, we're the only ones to trust her. Come on, kids, and be like us.
Thanks, folks. I hope we pass the audition.
Yeah, come on, Generation X. Collect your children off the streets from all this useless protesting and bring them back. And this isn't the first time we saw it. I'm talking to Generation X because, of course, when we were that age, we were the punk rockers. We were the ones with the A tattoos or pen drawings of the A for anarchist, and the ones wearing the mohawks and with the makeup and the leather and the goth look. We're the ones that invented that. That wasn't there before. That was Generation X's contribution to society. So when I see these, what they call themselves Antifa today, that's just punk by another name. And that was, of course, invented back in the 70s and refined in the late 70s. And it's never really grown into anything, evolved into anything other than what it was then, a fashion statement and a symbol. And some take it a little further by putting that cute little A on them and thinking they're anarchists and parading around. The only difference is it just happens to be getting some media attention this year because it fits into other narratives that show degeneration in our society. And there are those out there that think that that's a good platform to run on, that by saying, look at everything breaking down around you and look at this destruction that's happening right now. And we are in a time of chaos, and what you need is our leadership to lead you out of this chaos. But it's all back to Telefon. It's not the truth. It's all manufactured. A year ago, none of this was going on, and a year from now, none of this will be going on. But it's going on right now because one side or another in this campaign is looking to knock the other side down and will use any narrative they can to do so. Here's a better play on that right here.
And I thought my jokes were bad.
Give me one reason why I shouldn't have my boy here pull your head off.
How about a magic trick? I'm gonna make this pencil disappear. It's gone. Oh, and by the way, the suit, it wasn't cheap. You ought to know, you bought it.
Shit. I want to hear proposition.
Let's wind the clocks back a year. These cops and lawyers wouldn't dare cross any of you. I mean, what happened? Your balls drop off? You see, a guy like me...
Freak.
A guy like me... Look, listen. I know why you choose to have your little group therapy sessions in broad daylight. I know why you're afraid to go out at night. The Batman. See, Batman has shown Gotham your true colors, unfortunately. Dent, he's just the beginning. And as for the television's so-called plan, Batman has no jurisdiction. He'll find him and make him squeal. I know the squealers when I see them. And...
What do you propose?
It's simple. We kill the Batman.
If it's so simple, why haven't you done it already?
If you're good at something, never do it for free.
How much you want?
Half. You're crazy. I'm not. No, I'm not. If we don't deal with this now, soon, little Gamble here won't be able to get a nickel for his grandma.
Enough from the clown.
Let's not blow this out of proportion.
You think you could steal from us and just walk away?
Yeah.
I'm putting the word out. 500 grand for this clown dead. $1 million alive, so I can teach him some manners first.
All right, so listen, why don't you give me a call when you want to start taking things a little more seriously? Here's my card.
The great Heath Ledger playing the character the Joker. Fantastic. Still the best. Still the best. Although the other guy in the movie called the Joker was pretty good too. But different character, different role. And we're back to the Chab Dog Sports Talk radio show. And in fact, let's play another commercial. We didn't get this commercial on yet.
There's something new in Hot Wheels. The Hot Wheels Sizzlers are here. Underneath his gleaming hood is a built-in motor. Hot Wheels with power built right inside. Recharge the Sizzler's power cell with the juice machine. And they'll run on your Hot Wheels track for lap after lap. The Sizzlers are here. Hot Wheels with a motor built right inside. Buy any one of 6 cars, the juice machine, or the new California 8 race set. With 2 Sizzlers, track, juice machine, dual speed brake, essence, and lap counter. Get Sizzlers. From Mattel, the fastest Hot Wheels cars yet. Go with a winner.
Okay, the Bills have jumped out to a 7-0 lead over the L.A. Rams here with 1:41 to go in the first quarter. And the Bills look good doing it. Long drive. Marched right down the field and punched it in. Play action. Quarterback backpedals, looks at the coverage. Oh, yeah. Found the open man. Looking left, threw right. The old look left, throw right trick. Made it look easy. Bang. To number 85, Smith. Yeah, Rams are going to go down today. Exposed for the fakers that they are. Oh. What else we got going here? Oh, yes, Florida. So, people in the lucky state of Florida, people in Florida are getting lucky. Restaurants are now allowed to open back to full capacity. I'm not sure, but it may mean that stadiums can also open up to full capacity, that sports can be held, that will basically go back to normal in Florida and try that experiment. And I'm very excited by the idea of trying the experiment because I think it makes a lot of sense. The CDC, for all the miscommunication that we've been provided by the CDC and questionable pronouncements made and then withdrawn more than once. And I understand that we don't know everything, but geez, we expect the CDC to have more measured discussions than what they've had, and it'll take years to fix the problem here. But in any event, with all the miscommunication with CDC, they did release this week the numbers, which are undeniable. Thank goodness for math; you can't lie in math, and they were the mortality figures from this, and it's not. It's like, guess what? It's like seasonal flu. So with that understanding. And those who want to protect themselves, Florida is reopening, saying, look, this is enough. You're going to die, you're going to die, you're going to live, and there's a lot of the risks you're going to face that will be higher to your mortality than COVID ever will be. So let's have at it. And as they opened, this has happened in college football. You see now there's other teams, the Pac-12 is coming back because they can't sit on the sideline because everybody else is moving on and they'll just be left behind. And Florida will lead the nation at the state level. And those states that refuse and delay, like I will predict California and New York will do, just to spite Florida and just to spite the idea that they're not in control, they're going to suffer the worst at the ballot box if they're playing that game come Election Day. It just makes so much sense that things are just lining up. It's almost, in fact, my prediction is that it's going to get really close. They'll just let things continue. They'll let the left, the Democrats, talk themselves out over all this protest and unrest and unease, and you know what I'm talking about because you feel it in your gut just like I do. We all feel this unease here that's been ginned up, and I don't, scoreboard is, I got eyes, you got eyes. I don't see, people waving U.S. flags and wearing, red, white, and blue and looking like that and having polite marches that pick up their garbage after themselves. I don't see these people causing the unrest, the mayhem, or creating that uncomfortable feeling I've got in my stomach. I see the other side. I see the people, that are even left of left, but the Democratic Party calls them home, and says you're part of us. I see those people, and I don't see the Democrats calming that down. So all you have to do is just let the mayhem continue and let that feeling build up, and then really close to Election Day, if all the whole Republican slate just puts out media and advertising, say, okay, we're going to make this stop, but we need your vote as our mandate to make this stop. And only an overwhelming vote will allow us to put in the laws, practice the laws as we see fit, under the law without writing a new one, and fix some of the laws that are preventing us from carting all these protesters off when they get more people there than a permit allows, or go past hours allowed, and hold people and arrest people and hold them personally responsible for violating terms. Yeah, if they came out with that really hard at the end, guess what? And that they're going to protect your property. Yeah, they came out right before Election Day and said, vote Republican, because if you give us the mandate, we will fund enough police to protect your property so that when the riot comes to your door, you'll be protected. Because the people right now in these places where these riots and violent protests are going on, they're saying, well, come and destroy our property. Come and destroy our state property. Come and destroy our city property. We don't care about our property. You can come and destroy our property. So if they feel that way about their own property, you think those people are going to protect your property? Are they going to come to your house in Manhattan Beach, and my house in Newport Beach, and your house in Indianapolis, and your house in Texas? Are they going to come to these places and protect if they don't care about protecting their own homes, their own buildings, their own offices, their own police departments, their own civil employees? If they're not going to hang these people out to dry, do you think they're going to protect you? And if they're not going to protect you, why are you going to vote for these people? Especially if somebody right before you cast your vote says, hey, vote for us, we'll guarantee that we'll protect your property and your right to be you without getting harassed by a group that says, say Black Lives Matter or we're going to torch your store. Agree with Black Lives Matter or we're going to disrupt your dinner here on this patio. Yeah. You tell me that's going to win an election. You Democrats, you should be ashamed of yourselves. Really, just absolutely ashamed of yourselves. Running on a ploy like that and thinking the American public's going to vote for it. You deserve to get curb stomped. Man, you deserve to get curb stomped for trying to sell that to the American people. All right, let's take some levity here. With Lisa
Jews are
McEnroe.
hilarious, man, because Jews are great. I make fun of stereotypes in my act, but let me tell you something. Those Jewish stereotypes are true. Oh, my God. Jewish men got the smallest thingies on the planet. Please, the only thing shorter than a Jew's penis is a black guy's to-do list. So funny is, man, Jewish people are great, but here's the two people who vie for most annoying people is Italians and Jews, who are exactly alike. Italians are creepy because now that every freaking Guinea has seen The Sopranos, every fat bastard thinks he's in the mob and tries to say that so he can get laid. I got hit on by a 400-pound Guido. He's like, if you ever need something, don't worry about it. I'm connected. I'm like, yeah, you're connected to a fork, you douche. But Jews are annoying, too. Let me tell you something right now. Let me tell you about my last Jew encounter. Jew encounter. Sounds like a dating service where you pay for your own meal and the tip, too. Black guy, don't you laugh at no tipping joke. Come on, you know what they say? If you buy a canoe, paint it black, it'll never tip. Write that down. You use it tomorrow. But seriously, listen to my last Jew encounter. was last December. I was at my little nephew's, because we can't call it Christmas play no more, because yous Jews got jealous of us and made up Hanukkah to screw with us. So I'm at the nephew's holiday play, and all the little normal kids come out happy. They're all like, jingle bells, deck the hall. The freaking Jew kids come out. Oh, Hanukkah. That's some downer crap, you bastard. I'm like, stick a dreidel up your mother's ass. And screw you black people, don't you get me started on Kwanzaa. Jesus Christ! 7 days of that crap, I had to watch Roots for 9. That was punishment enough. I'm wrong for that joke, man. I'm sorry, because Roots was like this really great comedy, and you know what? Do you know, they say if you play Roots backwards, the black guys go back to Africa? Be kind, don't rewind. Fat girls need love too.
I was talking earlier with Tank about a chicken head, because I could see one in the background in his Raw Dogs clip there. Here's the description from Redman from Newark about what a chicken head is.
What up, y'all? Live WFDS at the Fucked Up Chicken Head Convention. Nationwide, Jones Beach. All the boroughs is representing. We got the big weaves, the big shoes, bad attitudes. It's on and popping out this motherfucker. Well, this is Nick D. Hood, booking to the end, tell a friend, biatch. And we gonna check in with these here chickens. Yo, shorty, excuse me, could you tell me your name?
No, get up, what's up?
Oh, shorty, chill. See, understand, I'm just trying to interview you.
Damn.
Yeah, for real though, check it out, 1 second. Tell me, why they call you a chicken head?
I'm saying niggas be calling me a motherfucking chicken head because I be going to the store wearing that same wrinkled t-shirt I slept in, digging up my ass, my nose, and the whole
right, I see how you get out.
My body over there like to kiss my chicken
I'm gonna go
ass.
here and step to the next chicken head. Excuse me, shorty, right there, you. Yeah, you. Come here, tell me. Why are you at the Chicken Head Convention? I mean, where you coming from?
Girl, let me tell you, I just came from the mall boosting my motherfucking ass off. Look at all I got me all in this bag. Mad DKNY, Moschino, they got it all, girl. They got it all in.
Yo, come on, bitch, you know I gotta go. Bring your motherfucking ass on.
Nigga, you mad, girl.
Damn.
Anyway, I'm gonna step on over here to the silver jewelry booth. Mad chicken heads over there.
And that's why that's where the term chicken head comes from. I wasn't making it up, and you can hear what it sounds like. Anyway, you're back. Chab Dog Sports Talk Radio Show here on September 26th, I believe, 27th already. And I'm here in place, Eric the Well-Read in place for Brandon Chabner, the Chab Dog, who of course is away in Alabama this week. And let's follow up with some Sam Kinison.
They got us, man. They fucking got us. You might as well have a trigger on it, ladies, because we do what you say. Women should just reach in their panties and go, is this what you wanted? Let's go. Come on. I think this is what we were talking about, right? The pussy? Let's go. Come on. It's time to go home. Say goodnight to your friends. Come on. Put your fat fucking ass out in the car, and you will not get this. The guy's like, oh, she's got the pussy! I gotta go home, guys. I like to stay and party like a real man, but she's got the pussy! Oh, you fucking bitch, you whore, if you didn't have the pussy. Oh, I'll never forgive you for this. Oh, it's worse than rape. It's worse than rape. It's true, you know it. Every one of us, every guy in this fucking room has been at a party that was just a party for guys. And they wanted to go home. Can we go home, please? I'm bored. My eyes hurt from all the smoke in the room. All your friends want to do is drink and get high. You're all right, honey. Just let me go in the bathroom and change into a fucking dress in front of all my guys, all right? You got a skirt out in the trunk I can wear around because that's what I'm going to look like, a big fucking pussy. that doesn't have any control over his own fucking life. All right, honey? And then they tried to hurt her. Well, why don't you just go ahead and get high again? Well, as a matter of fact, honey, I'm going to get high again. Because that's what you do at a fucking party. You get too high. You get too drunk. You stay too fucking long. That's why they call it a party! And you feel tough. You feel strong. You feel like a man. And she goes, oh, you forgot about one thing. Let's go. I've got the pussy. Get in the car. Oh, you bitch! Oh! So you end up going home. I know. So, guys, since you're there, since they want to fuck them. Do every single nasty thing you can think of. Be the nastiest, darkest chapter in her sexual diary. It'll read, there were all the others, and then there was him. Ow! He made me do things that was just unnatural. Yeah, that way. Make her do it all, man. Fuck her every single place and way you can think of. Watch porno films, talk to lesbians, whatever it takes. Because then if she leaves you for another fucking guy, you just made this guy's life real fucking interesting. Oh, he's gonna know who you are.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because women love to talk about the fucking last guy they had, you know. Oh, he was sick. You don't even want to know what he did. That's right. I don't want to fucking know. It was terrible. It was terrible. He shared me with his friends once we broke into a church and we fucked on an altar 3 a.m. Will you shut up? God damn it! Will you shut your fucking mouth? You're a whore! Oh, yeah, this guy will have stomach cancer in 2 fucking weeks, so she'll be drinking him early, very early. Oh, where's the bottle, you fucking whore? Did he do it with this dude? Yes? Oh, shut up! Oh, he did everything. Help me! I can't come! Help me! Yeah.
Grave Sam Kinnison here. Oh, this has me in stitches. Hilarious. Here's since we're in that part of the blue part of the show here, because we can play blue. Here's a blue track. On track 15. I don't even know the name of the song, but you'll know what it's called.
My dinner's on fire while she watches TV, and if you ever wondered what it's like to be me, she takes all my money and leaves me no smokes, yells at my buddies and insults my folks. I'm breaking my back, doing the best that I can. She's got time for the dog and none for her man. And I'm no dope, but I can't cope, so hit the fucking road and piss up a rope. You
Wow. Okay. There's not much we can say about that song that hasn't already been said. So yesterday, there were two protests held in Yorba Linda, California, the home of the Nixon Library. And there was one pro-BLM, and there was one surprisingly anti-BLM. And it's one of several that have started popping up in recent days. And I suppose just people coming out saying, we've had enough of all this BLM stuff. And one of the fellows was carrying a sign, and his sign said, "Black behavior matters." And I thought, wow, that's actually really fitting. And as provocative as that is, it makes perfect logical sense. You know, if Black lives matter, then it follows logically that black behavior matters too. Because if you're gonna matter about lives, absolutely, but so does behavior, because behavior shapes lives as well. And that goes, if white lives matter, then white behavior matters. If Jewish lives matter, then Jewish behavior matters. If Chinese lives matter, then Chinese behavior matters. It follows. It's the same thing. We must hold all individuals to be responsible and act in a responsible manner among their fellow men. And acting responsibly means not going out and trying to destroy things or even if you're not going out and destroying things, not repeating lies. That if you choose to look a little bit further, if something is so extreme that it's making it out to be horrible, you're probably that news source, whatever it may be, is probably misrepresenting, probably at the very least garnishing it, and it's worthy of a little more exploration as to what's truly going on. And in the case of Breonna Taylor, absolutely, because the facts are that if she was living right now, she'd be in jail on charges with a lot of evidence showing that she did conspiracy to do drug trafficking. It was the right house. Her name was on the warrant for the correct reasons. They did actually knock. Her boyfriend, who shot at the police, said so. I mean, when you see all that, and yet those truths were all misrepresented, and by people like George Clooney and Oprah and others. And so they're saying, well, I guess they're saying that the state attorney general of Kentucky and all the evidence given to the grand jury is also a lie, and this was all fabricated to exonerate. I guess that's their case. They're not being so bold to say it, but logically that's the only thing it can be, for them still to be saying, say her name and all this other stuff, saying that the police need to be charged. It just insanity, absolute insanity, absolute insanity.
Aurelio speaking.
I heard you struck my son.
Yes, sir, I did.
Then may I ask why?
Yeah, well, because he stole John Wick's car, sir, and killed his dog.
How's the trip, kid?
We won't be hearing from them anytime soon. Or ever.
That's a nice jacket.
Thanks.
Yeah. Figo, English, please, come on.
Stay, goddammit!
What did I do?
Jeffrey Knowles up at Polney.
We did what you asked. No one saw shit. I'm not talking about Atlantic City. What the? You mean Aurelio's? So I stole a fucking car.
What the fuck, Vigo?
Right, you stay.
It's not what you did, son, that angers me so. It's who you did it to.
Who? The fucking nobody?
That fucking nobody is John Wick. We called him Baba Yaga.
The boogeyman?
Well, John wasn't exactly the boogeyman. He was the one you sent to kill the fucking boogeyman. Oh, John is a man of focus, commitment, sheer will. Something you know very little about. I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil.
Fucking pencil.
Fucking pencil. And kill his fucking dog. You steal his car and kill his fucking dog. Fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck out of my sight.
Don't mess with his dog. So in other news this week, in the state of California, our Governor Gavin Newsom, announced that by 2035, in 15 years, California is phasing out the sale of gasoline-powered vehicles. So that if you want to buy, well, let's say if you want to buy a 2035 model Chevrolet, gasoline-powered, the V8, V8 fuel-injected, you will not, GM will not be allowed to sell that car to you in the state of California. It will not be allowed. So, very, very interesting. And then the other thing he announced, which must have been very important, high on the priority. Oh, back to the cars for a second. Yeah, the reason he announced that, his rationale was that it'll cut our greenhouse emissions by 35% if we get rid of all the cars. So we're going to phase them out by 2035 so that we can slow down global warming because it's caused by man, according to Gavin Newsom. And so by doing these cars, this will do the trick. And he must have found so much time that he was also able to pass a law saying that men can go to girl prison, that transgender inmates will be housed by their gender identity. So that means if I'm a female, but I identify as a man, I can be put in male prison, and, of course, vice versa. So, here in California, the jokes, they kind of write themselves. I don't think I have to. I think I don't. I shall not dignify further that line of reasoning to which the governor is partaking. Yeah, there's nothing further I can add to that. It speaks to its own stupidity. Okay, we're coming to the end of the second hour here. I'm going to check out. It's currently 14-0 Bills. Rams have a drive going, but it's 100%. I'm going to end our Telefon Show today with Telephone Rubber Band by the Penguin Cafe Orchestra. And be sure to tune in next week where Chab Dog returns and we get to hear all about Alabama. So long, everybody.